Want to bet?
Yep.
Then get into the action at Sports Interaction. Whatever your sport, Sports Interaction has you covered. Bet pregame, in-game, or on one of the many unique prop bets. Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. Thank you. Or in Ontario, download the app now using our QR code at the bottom of the screen. 19 plus, please play responsibly. So back to the Buffalo game, though. The one thing you did mention, and just kind of like me with Chicago, I was internet mad, and then the next day I was like, okay, all right, fine. The only thing I'm still internet mad about is the way Michael Bunting's being treated by the refs. Part of it
was so stupid.
Part of it is Michael Bunting not working the system. Part of it is me being bitter about the fact that there's a system to work anyway. Yeah. But that's life, so you have to do it. I think you make a good point of when Samsonov probably still isn't feeling 100%. Who is?
He looked terrible.
The third period it's one of those things where you go, can we not lock this down just a little bit?
I got upset about the Bunting treatment in that game because it actually affected the game. If I'm not mistaken, it was 5-2. Mm-hmm. So it's unlikely Buffalo will come back, but it's possible. Like, we've seen it, not just with the Leafs, we've seen it with other teams. And the Leafs have a power play. That should be a death sentence. Mm-hmm. I remember being like, all right, 6 minutes ago, yeah, that should be it. Game should be done. Then the Leafs are on the power play. Bunting is in a headlock. He's in a headlock. Then he shoves, who was it? I'm trying to remember. Tyson Jost. He shoves Tyson Jost to say, hey, fuck off, get off of me. Then the ref blows the play dead. And what do both guys get?
Unsportsmanlike.
That's made up. That is made up.
I got to put you away for something, so this is what I'm going to do.
If you're going to make a call, like I saw some people say, how about just no call? I'd be more fine with no call to either of them than both of them going off. Because ignoring it is just something refs do all the time. Making calls up, what? Just do your job. Like, if anything, it's holding on Tyson Jost. Mm-hmm. And if you want, roughing on Bunting.
Yeah.
Unsportsmanlike to both. Do your job. Do your job. It's frustrating to me doing my job. Jesse does his job. Adam does his job. You do your job at home. Do your job. That's all you got to do. Look at Jost. He's fucking laughing. He's laughing at you. The Leafs should be up 5-on-3 right now with 5 minutes to go in the game. It's a death sentence, but you can't do it because getting a 5-on-3 is impossible. Are the Leafs not the only team in the league to not have a 5-on-3 this season?
They've never had a 5-on-3?
That's crazy.
If I'm not mistaken,
I don't even know where you looked that up.
I want to say like a month ago, someone brought that stat up, and I don't recall them having one. Maybe.
Well, Andrew Berkshire made a point. I was talking to him. It was either on Game Over. I can't remember because it was a fever dream because of the hot sauces. But I was talking to him at one point about the Leafs in the last week, and he said the problem that the Leafs have is that if they're not moving, they don't have the speed anymore to generate the type of things that usually cause a penalty. So they're not, at the Leafs, if you look at the Leafs, they're not an overly fast team. There are fast elements, but fast teams do generate more penalty calls in their favor because what happens when somebody gets turnstiled is they use their stick.
Yeah, right? The Leafs don't play off of the rush as much as we perceive they would with their star power.
Exactly that, Jesse. So I thought, I'm like, that's really interesting. But what we saw against Buffalo in the good moments, which was most of the game, we saw them moving. When they move, when their feet are moving, Bunting's talked about that in the post game stuff too. When his feet are moving, he's getting the calls. When their feet are moving, they're getting the calls. And I think that that's going to have to be something that they really work. If they're going to play Tampa, they're going to have to really move.
You know what? I know why. Because you're talking about the Leafs aren't moving their feet, and that's why they're not generating calls. I know why they're not generating calls. We don't have a solo cam, so I'll look right down the barrel of them.
Run over to Adams.
Come on over.
Because we need to have a talk.
Come on over.
There you go.
Leafs Nation. The next time we get a player like Bunting, okay, who draws a lot of penalties, right? Shut the fuck up. And I'm putting that on me too. I need to shut the fuck up. We had Kadri. We bragged about how Kadri drew the most penalties in the league. And then what happened? The refs stopped calling anything. Shut the fuck up. Bunting leads the league in draws penalties. Shut the fuck up! Now they won't call anything. And then it started to happen with Joey Anderson. He's on waivers at the time we're recording this. I don't know where he's going to end up, but wherever he ends up, he's probably going to draw a lot of penalties. And when he does that, I need you to do me a favor, and I'm going to try to do the same. Shut the fuck up! When you point it out, they feel some type of way, and they stop calling penalties. Shut up! Thank you.
Also, let me throw this out there. Leafs Nation, it's your fault Joey Anderson's on waivers today.
Also, David Bastel's head was in front of you that entire time we're doing that segment.
Did you put David?
Just like with the pinata.
He's joking.
I'm joking.
It's a joke.
I hope you're joking.
He's joking. He's joking.
I don't know that. I don't know that for sure.
There was no candy.
Okay, so
That made me so sad.
we'll do another, but you know what? Maybe this is a good thing to do because we sort of, I would expect Samsonov's going to be better once, his body sorts itself out, which, as we all know, when you get the poopadoops, it takes like a week. You got to flush it all out. You imagine a professional athlete and how in tune they are with their body.
I won't get too TMI, but the morning after my bout with Norwalk last year, it felt like my entire body was wrapped in cling wrap.
Now go play 60 minutes on the ice because goalies don't sit.
I was cramping my calves. Those big morning stretches you do where just like everything seized, and I'm like, oh my God, Jesus.
So, with that said, I think we should talk about
dehydrated. You see,
we should talk about the trade deadline.
Yeah.
So the SDPN is putting on its very first trade deadline show. So next Friday we're going to be breaking down every single trade as it happens. We're not going to do like a big block. Broadcast?
I wouldn't call it a show at all.
No, it's just a bunch of videos. We're going to do a bunch of videos, and then what we're going to do is we're going to package all those videos together as one podcast, and then make it available on audio as well if you want to listen the next day. So it will still be a show. We'll still do like a live element at some point, but we're not going to do like everybody does like a huge 8-hour extravaganza. We're not doing that. No, we're going to break down each trade as it comes in. We're not going to break any trades because unless Brendan Manel gets moved.
He might. Let me text him.
And
sorry, I can't disclose my sources.
It's either Brendan Manel gets traded or Eric Lindros.
Eric Lindros, yeah.
Eric Lindros, you want to text him, see if he's getting moved?
All right. This is bullying.
So we're really excited because what'll happen is essentially a trade will break. We'll do a quick recap, and then we're going to upload it immediately. So if you're looking for trade deadline coverage, we're going to have it. And we're going to have a bunch of hot takes, I'm sure. I can't wait for the trade where it's like Lafferty for a third rounder. That's going to be some hot content right off the press. But we're going to have all that stuff, and I think it's kind of exciting because this is the first trade deadline that the three of us have actually got the chance to work together, right? Jesse did one with Tim and Sid. Steve, you've been working with Sportsnet forever on this stuff. We actually get to do it, the three of us this time. I'm very excited.
45 seconds to shine.
That's right.
I am most excited for the John Klingberg to Winnipeg trade.
I think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen.
Hot.
And you know what?
Hot goss. That's the move.
I like to call it Jeff Merritt Christmas because he's the guy that's got the Klingberg. He's got the Klingberg on lock. If you want John Klingberg news, Jeff's clearly got multiple sources in there. And I think it's going to happen.
That trade could work. But like you got Josh Morrissey. I guess he's PT2?
You know what sucks is other defensemen.
Yeah?
Yeah. Bummer. I don't think you bring John. No, in all seriousness, though, you bring in John Klingberg because Josh Morrissey could get targeted, right? You could have him go down an injury.
That's true.
And John Klingberg relieves a little bit of that. If you never use him on the power play, who cares? It's salary cap free, right? The playoffs are not where a salary cap exists. You care about John Klingberg because he moves the puck. He can help you with zone exits. And if Morrissey goes down or needs a day or is injured or needs less ice time or whatever, then you got John Klingberg.
You know what? You sold me.